Let's look at the difference between shape and form and how we can think about forms as opposed to shapes. So I'm going to start with some basic shapes. This is just a circle. These are all the shapes that we know from kindergarten. This is going to be our kindergarten lesson for a moment. There's a square, there's a triangle, and we'll end with a rectangle. These are the basic simple shapes that we can use in drawing. There are so many things in the world that can be described by these four basic shapes. And these shapes are two-dimensional, meaning they're flat. They don't have any depth to them at all, but we can add a sense of depth by changing them. So for the circle, for instance, so if I want to make this circle three-dimensional, its name will change. We will call it a sphere. And here's how I'm going to think about it. It starts with a circle, and then I start deciding how to describe its spherical three-dimensional nature. And I do that with these lines that cross the shape. So I know a circle in perspective is an ellipse, so I'm going to put ellipses in kind of at 90 degrees to each other or thereabouts. And then I'm going to firm up one side of the ellipse to make it cut through the sphere. So now I have what looks like a transparent sphere. For the square, if I put that into 3 dimensions, it becomes a cube. We can just think of it as a box. Triangle becomes a cone, and to build a cone, I'm going to make a vertical and a horizontal, and then I'm going to draw an ellipse on the horizontal. This represents the round bottom of the cone. And then I'm going to make a point at the center of the cone on that vertical and just draw a line straight down to the edges of the ellipse. And that's going to give me my cone. You can see there I was constructing that cone. I wasn't just drawing it freehand, I was thinking about it. Same thing with this rectangle. To become a cylinder, I need a vertical and 2 horizontals. Then I'm going to have an ellipse on either end. I'm going to firm up the part of the cylinder I can see, so I can see into the top. I can't see into the bottom, so I'm going to close that one off. Being able to think about shapes three-dimensionally like this is going to really help our drawings. If we can wrap our heads around how these things work in three-dimensional space, our ability to make convincing drawings is greatly increased. And that's what we're going to be working on in the next week or two, is really being analytical about how we deal with representing three-dimensional space in a drawing.